Hey, I'm Bob Lucido, and you're back in the Bearcat Training Camp, where we are offering in-depth business building training for Team Beachbody coaches. Well, as I'm sure you can gather by now, I'm a concept guy. I believe that there are some key philosophies, some big picture pieces that you really have to understand in order to build a large organization and big success in this business. So what I want to share with you today are some of my thoughts on what I call level 2 of the vital behaviors. I hope that everyone who's made it to this level has at least heard of the vital behaviors by now, and certainly if you went through the phase 1 videos, you have. Those are the essential behaviors that we need to have going on a consistent basis to build and maintain success in this business. But what I want to share with you today is what I call the level 2, the sort of big picture concepts that go along with those 4 vital behaviors. Because we've covered this sort of step 1 of what those things mean in some of the phase 1 videos. What I want to talk about today are some of the sort of big picture concepts that go along with those 4 vital behaviors so that you can utilize those and leverage those to take your business to the next level and make sure that you're doing the right things on the big picture level. Again, I'm a concept guy, and I really believe that you have to have a good understanding of the big picture, of the overall direction of what it is that you're trying to do, of the overall intent of all of the little pieces, the minutia that you're off there busy doing on a daily basis, how it all fits together and creates an organization, which is what we've been talking about as being the sort of ultimate driver for success in this business model. Well, if that's the case, then we want to make sure we have a good grasp on that. Okay, everything we covered in the phase 1 stuff, the daily disciplines, the power hour stuff, the pace, the 50-10 rule, those are great concepts. But they're also the sort of level 1 stuff, right? That's the day-to-day, how I'm getting my exposures in, how I'm getting my invites in, how I'm living in the sharing cycle, all of those things. And we want to keep all of that stuff moving forward. Remember, we never let go of that stuff. But the way that we approach the vital behaviors when we're working on that level is a little different, or at least a little shallower than what I want to share with you today. Okay, so let's jump right into them. The first one is to be proof the products work. And in level 1, we take that to mean that we're drinking our Shakeology every day ourselves, we're using the products, we're doing our own fitness program at some level, whatever it is, we're engaged with the products that we're sharing. What I want to share with you today, the level 2 of Be Proof the Product Works, is to ask you to jump in a little bit deeper, in fact a lot deeper, to fully immerse yourself in everything that it is that you're trying to become as a Team Beachbody coach. Jump in 100%. This is the vital behavior that says you have to take the leap. And yes, it's a leap of faith, but you have to take the leap. I often say to people, if you want to be a full-time Beachbody coach, earning a full-time level income and really be able to do this as your gig full-time, the step 1 is to just start acting like a full-time coach. Start doing the things on a regular basis that you believe are the things that a full-time Beachbody coach does. Because it's in doing those actions that you are fulfilling that vital behavior number 1 of being proof the product works. What I want to say is, let's now define that as immersing yourself 100% in the process of what it is that we're sharing. Be what it is that we're sharing as coaches 100%. Okay? And that's a pretty cool thing to have the goal that we're trying to get to actually be the components of what the steps are to actually make it to that goal. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you have to dive into your version, your highest expression, your highest vision of what this opportunity is for you. Okay, and here we are circling all the way back to our why. Remember we talked about that in the phase 1 videos. If you're not really 100% familiar with what your why is in relationship to this business, if you haven't found space in your life for this business to live, remember I talked about that, you have to find where your connection with your real true inner passion is and where Beachbody fits in with that. When you can get that concept grasped and actually start moving forward on it and actually implement it, then you start to approach what I'm talking about of sort of level 2 vital behavior of being proof the product works. Be proof that this whole opportunity works by living and expressing this whole opportunity fully and completely. I fully believe that the reason why I've been able to grow such a large organization and have such fantastically fun success with this business is that I found fairly early on how this business fits into my ultimate vision for how I want to live my life. Part of the personal experience of going through P90X and having my own personal experience with a transformation, my own personal transformation, was locking in that feeling. And many of you have had that too, hopefully a good number of you. That's why customers make some of the best coaches, because you have that feeling of what it is that we're sharing. Now, many of us walk away from that, or maybe it's better to say don't harvest that or don't leverage that correctly or strong enough, maybe is a better way to say that. What I'm asking you to do is to find that spark of excitement of what it is that brought you to have some kind of an aha moment that yes, this is something you want to do full time. Yes, this is something that you want to be a full part of and that you want to be your full-time gig. If that's you, and I'm assuming it is, because I'm assuming that's why you're here, because that's what we're talking about. If that is you, then can you bring that into the full expression of how you're living your life right now? And I bet you can. And you can do it even if you already have a full-time job and you're in the transition phase. I hear back from people a lot of times, well, I can't act like a full-time coach because I don't have the time. Baloney. That's not the concept. The concept is that when you can connect your passion to what it is that you do as a Team Beachbody coach, then that becomes the expression of just how you share who you are. Beachbody, the business opportunity, the products, the lifestyle, the community, all of that, for me, is just another expression or a part of the expression of who I am as a person. I have found where those two things merge and become one. And that's the ultimate expression of be proof the products work. I'm often asked, how many hours a day do you work now, Bob, that you're a, whatever level coach that you've reached in the 35,000 person plus downline? And my answer to that always is, I could answer that very honestly in two ways. I could tell you that I work from the time I wake up until the time I go to sleep. And I could also tell you that I don't work a darn second of the day. And it's because of the word work. And what I have been blessed to be able to find, and this is what I really truly believe is the ultimate blessing of this business opportunity, and that all of you can connect with this too, if you can find the place where Beachbody coaching and what we do as Beachbody coaches help people improve their lives on their own terms, help people reach their own goals, help people help themselves in the realms of health, fitness, and finance. If that's exciting to you, and that's what you want to be part of, then you have this opportunity as well. And the opportunity is that when you bring those two together, then just make that part of your natural expression. Then all the phase one stuff we talked about becomes easy. Finding becomes easy. Sharing becomes easy. Because you're just being who you are and living that designed life that you want this to be the vehicle for anyways, right? So what does that look like? So for me, P90X brought in a part of my life that kind of was missing. I'd always been into sports and fitness my whole life, but hit the 30s and 40s and I was an attorney and working 60, 70 hours a week. That's part of my life that I let slip away. The passion that I had for health and fitness, I didn't have time for anymore, right? Well, so to me, part of the vision, part of the why of going into this business opportunity was to bring some of that back in my life. I really loved that. And the thought of being able to actually have daily fitness as part of my life and part of what puts the food on the table and pays the bills was very exciting to me. Sharing that with others was very exciting to me. So I just brought those in to my life, to who I was and who I am as a person coming out of my personal transformation and in the transition phase of being a hobby coach to starting to think seriously about being a business builder coach. But the transition started with simply, again, that concept of being and stepping into allowing myself to live the lifestyle that I saw as the exciting piece of what coaches do. Another big exciting piece for me was doing stuff like this. I've always been passionate about being engaged in improving myself and being in community with other people who see value in self-improvement, self-growth. For those of you who know me personally, I've got a long history in practicing martial arts and the sort of the self-discipline and the refinement of who I am as a human being and a man and a warrior and all of those things has always been paramount to who I am as a human being. In my spiritual life and in my personal heritage, that same concept is very prevalent and very strong and has great value to me. I have found a way to bridge what we do as Beachbody coaches to those very same concepts that have been near and dear and connected with my deep personal passion, and allowed myself to simply express that and to bring Beachbody into that expression, to give it a place to live, either through our products, through the opportunity to bring change, through the business opportunity, through the opportunity to bring change and connection through community and fit clubs and Shakeology. There's a huge community part of what we do as well, whether people are becoming your business partners or not. We've got this whole array of community building that happens as well. That's another huge passion of mine. If that's a passion of yours, then great. Get connected with that and get active with that. We build community that's made up of customers, of discount hobby coaches, all the way up to business partner coaches and everybody in between in our downline, cross network. There's so much of this is the community aspect. For me, it's always been something that I've been excited about and passionate about, building and connecting with in community with like-minded individuals who also see value in seeking self-improvement physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all those things that in my vision are the things that we do as Beachbody coaches. Okay, so that's a little, and I know I got a little bit off in some different directions there, but that's the big picture concept. Where is your passion that lines up with this thing that we do that we call Beachbody coaching? And have you found the place where they connect? If you have, then great, run with it. Take the leap, go 100% into it. Be that, be the expression of that. That's a vital behavior, big picture vital behavior. Be the expression of that. If you haven't found that yet, put some time into looking for that. Dig into your why, work with your success partner, work with your mentor, talk it out. It starts with getting a good understanding and connection with who you are, your self-understanding, your self-realization of what your real inner passions are. Maybe they don't have anything to do with the things that I just shared, and please hear that those are not the limit of what we do as Beachbody coaches. There are so many aspects and opportunities. The point here is that you got to connect with the one or the two or the handful that are the expression of one of your inner passions. And when you make that connection and ignite that electrical force, that's the big picture we're talking about in being proof the product works. Be proof the lifestyle works. Be engaged. Don't just say it's not just about, oh, I drink Shakeology every day. No, be much more than just somebody who drinks a Shakeology. Be the full expression, your highest personal full expression of what it is to be a Beachbody coach. And when you get that concept, and when you run with that concept, and you build on that concept, amazing things will happen. You will attract more people to you. You will attract the right people to you. Your organization will also be sparked in its growth. Okay, you have to be in that fully immersed place, and it starts with the connection with your passion. But it also includes, by the way, being fully immersed in the community that we are as Beachbody coaches. Again, be proof the product works also extends to the business sense as well. It's not just about, did you drink Shakeology and do your workout today? Yes, I hope you did those. Those are phase 1 stuff. Phase 2 stuff is, are you the kind of coach who always makes the weekly team calls? That was me. Sometimes there were 2 or 3 people on the call. I was there every week. And guess what? The other people who were part of that 2 or 3, they've grown great success too. Invariably, those are the people who find great success. Are you at the Super Saturdays all the time in your region? Do you make it to Summit every year? Are you part of everything that you can become part of in your area? Are there fit clubs or shake and shares going on in your area, whether they're yours or not, whether it's cross-line coaches or not? I'm asking you to become fully immersed in who and what we are as Beachbody coaches. That's the big picture of proof the product works. It means actually living it, being it. Are you on the business op webinars that your team does? Are you searching other business op webinar opportunities that other coaches in the network are doing? By the way, I spent a lot of time when I was building my business in the very beginning going to other people's things. I would go to other people's fit clubs. I would travel around to different regions and go. There were game plan events back then, not Super Saturdays, but similar idea. I was on BizOp webinars that were being presented by other top coaches who were so far cross-line distant from me that it had nothing to do with any kind of a direct connection, but it was what was happening in the community, and it was all growing me as a coach. Are you doing those things? Are you inviting your team to do those things? Are you making sure that the community energy, if that makes sense, is vibrant in your business, in your team, in your organization? And those are some of the ways that you do that. Think out of the box. Always think connection. That's what this one's about. Proof the product works is about immersing yourself 100% in the lifestyle and the opportunity that we are sharing. One of my early mentors said this to me, and I'll close this first vital behavior with this thought. And he said to me that the picture of your life and how you are living will always be the greatest billboard for the opportunity that you are sharing. What does that mean? Well, to me, that meant that the deeper and the more expression that I can bring to my own living out the dream, if that's what it is, living the dream, living the opportunity that we're sharing, will always be my best sharing tool, and it will always be yours as well. It's your own expression of your highest vision of what this opportunity is that will also be the key that opens the doors and allows you to connect with the organization that is waiting for you to lead them. That's where this starts, okay? Vital behavior number 1. Hope that makes sense to you. The second one is invite, invite, invite. And in phase 1, we talked about this in the daily disciplines. This is your 2 exposures a day, and I'm not going to define what an exposure is again. You should know that, and if you don't, then head back to the phase 1 videos and grab that. But it's your 2 exposures a day. It's the invitations to your challenge groups. It's the invitation to your free clean eating groups. It's the invitations that you're sending out to make connections with people, to either offer product to them as customers or offer opportunity to them as potential business partners or club members or whatever that aspect may pan out to be. But this is the place where we are in the sharing cycle and understanding that this is really the lifeblood of what we do. Once we come out of the step 1 that I just talked about of connecting with our expression, then we get to work to invite others, share with others the opportunity, offer others the opportunity. I heard one of my heroes is in the coaching world, Tracy Morrow, say this once, and she said that the greatest blessing that we have as coaches is to be blessed with the opportunity to bless others with this very same blessing. And kudos to Tracy, hats off to you for that concept. That's, in my personal opinion, the greatest expression of what it is that we do in the sharing. That's what we're sharing. We've received this blessing that's changed our lives physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, maybe a combination of all of the above. And the invite part of this is that we also get the gift of being able to empower others to have that same experience. Okay, that's the big picture. This is the phase 2, the step 2, or whatever I'm calling it here. I've lost track of that, but level 2 of the vital behaviors that we're talking about here. When it's the invite, understand that this is much bigger than, hey, take a look at this catalog of stuff that I can sell to you. It's even much bigger than, hey, here's a business that you can start, okay? It's the opportunity to share positive life change, the positive life change to be defined by those you're sharing with. Those I'm sharing with define whether they need help physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and then I, as a Beachbody coach, sit here and say, okay, here's what we can do in these areas. Let's see if we can find a connection. Which one can we help you with? At least which one do we get you started with? That's the inviting process. The inviting process is the blessing to be able to share with someone else the blessing to get to where they're actually trying to get to. And you have to understand it that way, because when you do, I believe, it takes off the chains of hesitation that many of us bring to this. We don't want to share, we don't want to feel salesy, we don't want to feel like we're pushing something on someone. The inviting part becomes scary. Inviting to the business opportunity is even more scary for most people for some reason. Oh, I don't know if I'm not going to explain it right. What if I don't know the comp plan well enough? So on and so forth. we need to take those blocks out. And in my personal experience and in my personal opinion, one of the lynch keys to taking that out is understanding that you are offering the gift, you are offering the empowerment opportunity when you are sharing. For the people that you're sharing with to receive what it is that they're looking for, that they are trying to get on their own terms. One of the ways that we used to express this in our organization when we were trying to teach this big picture concept, and sometimes the big picture concept is a little harder to teach, right? It's not 2 + 2 is 4. It's getting people to try to understand a philosophy and a concept, a mindset. When you bring a certain mindset to your sharing, then it ceases to be salesy. It ceases to be convincing somebody into something. It ceases to be that kind of interaction with the ickiness kind of thing into a true servitude, being a servant leader. I'm here to serve you. If I'm sharing, if I'm inviting with you, then it's because I want to help. I want to be of service to you. Again, mindset. Bring a different mindset to what this invite means. And so one of the things that we used to always share early on, and one of the mantras that kind of spread through our organization, and it's probably not new, is simply that you don't have the right to not share this. And that if you can bring in the concept that you have been gifted with an opportunity to bless others, to empower others, or whatever words you want to use, you don't have the right to hold that to yourself. Everyone who comes near you should be given the opportunity to receive that blessing that you're walking around with. And when you choose not to share, when you choose not to invite, because you're afraid of a no, or you're afraid that the person's going to think you're silly, or you're whatever it might be, you are actually withholding the opportunity for empowerment for that person. Let that person decide. Don't decide for them whether they want that magic wand to be waved over them or not. That's an important concept to get into bringing into how you are sharing and why you are sharing. There's a why component here. Why are you out there? Because you've been given this opportunity. You've received this flow of positive life change, and the only way to have it continue to grow is for you to share it, is for you to spread it around, and that's what we're here to do. And in level 2, that means sharing the business opportunity as much, if not more, than the wonderful products that we share when we're sharing in phase 1, right? I want you to bring this invite, this share, this empower, this be in service to those you are sharing with. I want you to bring all of that into the level and the concept of spreading empowerment. That's what we're doing here, and I want you to open the doors to doing that freely with the business opportunity. And in fact, here in level 2, I want to switch that concept a little bit. What we've been talking about are these parallel roads where we're sharing product first, building retail, we're sharing the business opportunity, seeking those business partners that are going to help us to build together a community, a network, an organization. And what I want to bring in to you now is let's reflect upon what we talked about in the Be Proof the Product Works. Share on that level. Share the whole thing. Don't break it down. Don't compartmentalize it. Don't say, well, I'm only comfortable sharing Shakeology because I can give packets to people, or I'm only comfortable sharing, Beachbody on Demand because there's videos for me to share, and I don't really share the business opportunity because this or that, or I don't share whatever other aspects. Get that out of your vocabulary and understand that really what we're sharing, really what we're inviting is the opportunity for people to engage completely with all of the aspects of the community that we are as Beachbody coaches. And we offer opportunity for connection and community, through group workouts, just getting together, shake and shares, being together in community, joining challenge groups, being a little bit closer together, becoming customer or client relationship where we're working a little bit closer and a little bit more intimately on personal goals, all the way up to, hey, joining the team and becoming a coach, to becoming business partners, to becoming, long-term, high-level success builders, all of that and everything in between. That's what we're sharing and inviting. And again, big picture. You got to have that wave coming off of you, flowing through you, and driving you forward in all the aspects of the minutia that we're out there doing in the phase 1 stuff. You got to do the minutia, but it'll make a lot more sense and it'll be a lot more powerful if you can bring the big picture behind it and bring that wave of positive life change that is the real expression of what it is that we share as Beachbody coaches into our concept, our mental concept, our philosophy of what it means to invite. What are you inviting people to? And one of my early mentors asked me, what is it that you share? And I started with Shakeology. Nope. What is it that you share as a Beachbody coach? And then I started talking about the fitness programs. No. All the way down to finding that ultimate nugget. What we share is the opportunity for positive life change on your terms, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect. If I'm sharing any of this part of this opportunity with you, it is ultimately that I am offering you the opportunity for positive life change with my support and opening the door to that opportunity for you. That's what we're sharing. The products are secondary. The opportunity in its grandest scheme and its grandest vision is what it is that we share. So think about that, okay? Bring that in to what it is that you're understanding as the concept of invite. Bring it into this totality of what it is that we are doing when we're talking about this level sharing, okay? The next one is personal growth. And in phase 1, we talk about read 10 pages a day, listen to half an hour of a good CD or whatever, an audio. That's good for first level stuff. Learn the back office. I always tell people, level 1 personal growth also includes learn your business, learn this opportunity that you just started for yourself. Do you understand what multi-level marketing is? Do you understand what a binary compensation plan is? Have you read our specific P&P? Are you familiar with the back office? Are you familiar with the resources? That's all part of first level stuff. And then it's about learning some skills, communication skills, relationship building skills, stepping into the implementation process of what it is that we do as coaches. On this level, the level 2 stuff, I'm going to ask you to get some help. And the help can come in any number of different forms. Get yourself a mentor. Get yourself a counselor. Do some therapy. Get connected with something bigger than you when it comes to your personal growth, okay? Trust me, that's like adding rocket fuel to whatever you think you can do on your own. Reading 10 pages a day of a good book is a great place to start. Listening to some good audio is a great place to start. But it's not enough if you really want to get this to the place of huge organizational success, the kind of stuff we've been talking about, because it takes building your tribe. And building your tribe doesn't happen until you open up your own self-awareness and develop your relationship building and maintaining skills to a level that will allow you to have that kind of success. And it's only going to happen when you're able to let your guard down and work together with someone else with some expertise and who you trust and all of that stuff, who can help you from an objective point of view to go into those deeper levels. It takes a partner or a guide to help you make it into those next levels further than you'll be able to get on your own with a little book or listening to an audio once in a while in your car. Those things are great, but it's gotta go further than that because you have to get out of yourself. If this business is about building relationships, then you gotta understand how to do that. And it starts, and it's most crucial in the area of your own personal growth, of your own skill development in the areas that are crucial to the building and maintenance of relationships, the building and maintenance of community. That's what this is all about. And personal growth has to be personal, which means that you have to be the one to choose who it is that you're going to connect with on that level to help you get to where you want to get to. And hopefully it's somebody who's either there or on that path, has the skill set that you're looking to get, has the ability to teach or unlock those skill levels. But the piece I'm trying to get to you here, the message that I'm trying to get to you here, is that this is a team sport. And it starts even with your personal growth. You have to understand that you can't do this alone. You're not going to build this business alone. You're not going to build a huge organization alone. And you're not going to have the kind of success in the area of the personal growth vital behavior on your own. And that's the simple message here, is make that bigger. Get to some teaching opportunities, get to some seminars, get to some places where you can connect deeper in the areas of skill growth and personal development that you personally resonate with, or you have a personal understanding, have connection with where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. That's got to be defined by you, because for all of us it's a little bit different. I can't stand here, or I won't sit here and give you a list of here's the mentors you should think about contacting. No, because some will work great for you and some won't. You have to be the one who seeks that out. Work with your sponsor, work with your success partner, do a little bit of research, but be willing to open the doors to make personal growth a little bit bigger in terms of how you're doing it. Bring in the team aspect, bring in some backup, bring in some assistance, because that's what is really going to enable you to propel yourself forward in the kind of way that you're going to need to be a team builder, an organizational leader, a leader of leaders, all the things that we've been talking about in this phase 2 stuff. That's how you're going to get there, okay? So again, just like the be a product of the product, personal growth has to have a place to live in your life. It has to become part of who you are and what you do, because let's face it, that's what we do at the heart of it as Team Beachbody Coaches, whether we're doing it on a fitness level, whether we're doing it on a health level, whether we're doing it mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We are growing ourselves, we are improving ourselves, and we are offering people the opportunity to join us in that very same process of growth and improvement. So it makes sense that that's an area you want to continually to get better at. You want to continue to cultivate that part of you personally. And again, I expressed in the beginning some of the pieces where I have found that this and that aspect of personal growth and personal improvement meets with some of my own personal inner passions. You got to find the same places and find those connections so that personal growth is no longer a chore for you. If personal growth is a chore for you, if personal improvement is a chore for you and you dread it and you avoid it, then you are also dreading and avoiding what it is that we do as Team Beachbody coaches. Think about that. How could you have success at something that you actually dread doing, right? You got to erase that. If that's you, erase that concept. You've got to love self-improvement. You got to love the process and the work that it takes to self-improve physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, because it's that very process that we are actively engaged and immersed in as coaches and are actively engaged in helping others to be engaged in as well. That's what we're inviting people to be part of. That's what it is that we are as coaches. That's what we are as emissaries spreading positive life change in the areas of health, fitness, finance, so on and so forth. Therefore, you can't avoid it. You can't kick back against it. You need to embrace it fully and find the places where you can connect an inner passion of yours with that very process. And for all of us, it's a little bit different, and that's why I can't say these are concept things. These are philosophies. Do you understand the philosophy of the importance of you finding somehow, somewhere, an inner passion of your own that connects with or is sparked by the process of personal growth, personal improvement in its many aspects and facets? And as I said, that's a very, that's a great array of things that you have a potential to line up with the great array of inner passions that you have. The key here is finding that where there's a connection on that side and a connection on this side, and then running with it 100%, making it part of your life, who you are, what you do on a daily, moment-to-moment basis. That's what a vital behavior is. And when it comes in on that level, then you will see the rocket fuel kind of results coming out of what you're putting in, okay? The last one, of course, is our newest vital behavior, and that is recognition. At the phase one level, at the beginning level, this means being a cheerleader of some sorts, being the support. We're as coaches, a big part of what we do is offering peer support. So it's recognizing the small steps, the small victories and the big victories, but being actively engaged in the process of being the one who takes it upon themselves, takes the responsibility to seek out the places to acknowledge and recognize improvements and gains with our customers, with our challengers, with our coaches even, right? And that's where it starts. For those of you who are Jim Rohn fans, I'm sure you've heard him talk about the fact that the company will recognize the big stuff, the elite coaches, the Success Club All-Stars, the rank advancements, those kinds of things, the Team Cup Challenge winners, those things. What our job is to do is to recognize the small things, to recognize the steps along the way. We want to help all of our coaches, all of our challengers, all of our customers to make it to the level to gain some of that big recognition that the company gives out, the contests and the awards and the trips and all of that fun stuff. But there's also a lot of steps along the way to getting there. And not all of our customers or challenges or coaches are going to make it all the way to be able to walk across those stages, and that's okay. We cheer on and we recognize those who do, But we also have to understand that one of the crucial things that we do as coaches is to recognize and acknowledge all the little steps along the way as well, and all those who are making little steps and maybe only make it a quarter of the way, or a half of the way, or 3/4 of the way. We have to be the ones who see success before those we are working with even make it there themselves. We need to see success in them before they see it. We need to be the builders of self-esteem. We need, as coaches, to be the ones who are standing there holding the torch of positivity. Don't allow your coaches or your customers or your challengers to bring you in to any kind of a negative swirl about themselves or what they're doing. You can't allow it. The recognition vital behavior tells you that you must be the one at all costs and in all situations who can find the positive, point it out, and help redirect the ship towards the positive. And for those ships who are already moving in the positive, you need to be the one who is there pushing them along, and pushing is probably the wrong word, but cheering them along, supporting them along to move along that right road even faster. And this is a big part of what we do as coaches. I like to tell people that I think that in some sense you have to be the seer. You have to be the visionary for the people that you're working with until they can be the visionary for themselves. You need to see them in their highest expression of the success that they are trying to reach, right? If you're working with them, they've told you their why, they've told you their goals, you know where they're trying to get to. Now you need to see them there and hold that vision, hold that energy for them, and then recognize all the little steps, all the little corrections, every little baby movement that somehow moves that ship towards that vision that you can see for them. Again, this needs to be a big picture concept, a philosophy that drives how you run your business. This isn't so much the minutia of the words you say or the things you do necessarily. It's the concept and it's the mindset that you bring to how you work with the people you're working with. Have some consciousness about this. Giving unconditional support. That's another one that I like to talk about. Unconditional support. You've heard about unconditional love, right? Well, how about unconditional support? Can you support your challengers even when they don't show up in your challenge group and post every week like you'd like them to? Can you support the coach who's been in your business for years and is still kind of trying to get the hang of things, shows up at your team calls, is part of your community, has created relationship with you? Can you see value in that coach on your team as well as you see value in the 10-star diamond or elite coach? You should, and you need to learn how to if you can't or don't already. That's the kind of mindset that we're talking about when we're talking about recognition. It means unconditional support and an unwavering ability and commitment to always be sprinkling in the positive, to always be correcting the ship. I remember listening to somebody talk about the way that autopilot works. And who knows, I could be way off here, but my understanding of the way autopilot works in a big jet airliner, which is how most of them fly most of the time, is that it is constantly changing the course towards the best direction. And so it's kind of constantly re-correcting itself, re-pointing itself, and moving forward towards its ultimate goal. That's what we want to be for our customers and our coaches. And if you're building a coaching team and a coaching organization, you want to be that process of what the autopilot program does. You be there to always be bringing things back to the positive, back to the goal at hand, back to the vision at hand, back to the why that started the process in the first place. You have to be the anchor for the why. That's what this recognition piece is about. And you bring out the pieces, you be aware of the places where you can offer the kind of support, the kind of direction, the kind of teaching, whatever it may be, or offering of service to continually moving the people that you're working with towards that goal. And recognizing that they're all at a different pace and that each and every person that you work with is an adventure. It's a blessing to be part of that relationship. And our goal is not to define somebody else's goals or to define somebody else's success. It's to get in there and to recognize the goals they've set for themselves, to recognize their process, and to engage in it and to become part of it. And then also to recognize their right to have success on their terms. Have places where you are able to recognize everything that's happening in your business. And here's what I mean by this. You're building a community. If you're building an organization, it's a community. It's not just about recognizing the superstars. You need to recognize the value of all the participants. You know, my downline now is like at 35,000 plus people. They're not all 15-star diamond. They're not all ever going to be 15-star diamond. There's everything from the discount hobby coach all the way on up to the, superstar, multi-time elite, millionaire club, whatever you want to say. We've got them all in this organization. And I love every single one of them and the same. They all have value in the creation of that organization. An organization, as we've been talking about it in here, is made up of all the different facets of the customers, of the people who show up at my fit club who don't ever buy anything and just want a free workout every week, but they're just part of the community, to the people who show up at the Shake and Shares, to the people who respond to offers of free Shakeology samples, to the people who are, in the challenge groups or becoming coaches or in my Coach Basics trainings or in the leadership mentor programs or in the inner circle coach leader partner circles, and everything in between creates an organization, creates a community. And as leaders implementing the true essence of the 4 vital behaviors, we need to be able to recognize everyone's value, no matter which role they play in that great conglomerate of different experiences. We want an organization, a community that is alive at all levels, from the bottom to the top to the in-between. I don't even like to say bottom and top. It's a big circle. It's a big circle, and it's a big orb that everybody has a part of and that everybody is participating in, and every single participant has value. And when you can grasp that concept, and when you can get to work in fostering and sharing your ability to see value and to connect and express that recognition of value to all the many players, then you will see a great lively organization, a great variety of things happening in your organization. And you will be able to have greater success in the connection and the partnering that we've been talking about in this business. Because the only way that you're ever going to really connect, really build relationship, really partner with anyone is to be able to go to where they are at and find the common space where you can each see value in each other and in the relationship, to have an ability to plant the seed for that relationship to start. And then the level at which that relationship will prosper will be based upon your ability and your actual actions in cultivating that very sense of mutual value. And it all starts in this recognition process. And that's really the big picture, or the deeper level of what I see, or as I understand what we want to be doing in this recognition piece of our vital behaviors. So I hope you found that to be helpful. Again, I'm a big believer in the importance of understanding big picture stuff. So hope it makes sense to you. Think out of the box. My goal here is simply to shed some light on some big picture concepts and then ask you to run with them and to get out there and further our mutual cause, our mutual mission of spreading positive life change in every corner that we can possibly reach. Get out there and have fun.